number 7, we've got another quadratic equation. So I can go ahead and say over here, I know the shape of the graph is a parabola before I even plug in any points. The y-intercept, this always happens at x equals 0. So we can actually say this before we plot any points or graph it. If you plug in x equals 0, I know I'm going to get y equals 3. So my y-intercept is 0, 3. The vertex, we know how to get that as well. We know that the x value of the vertex is at negative b over 2a. B is negative 4, so negative b is positive 4. And 2 times a is 2 times 1. So our vertex, again, is at x equals 2, just like for number 6. And that makes sense. The reason is because the only difference between this equation and number 6 is that at the end we did this plus 3. So all that's going to do is take the y values that we had for number 6 and add 3 to all of them. So it's just going to take that graph we had before and push it up 3 units. So the vertex is still at x equals 2. The y value is going to be what it was before, except we're going to add 3 to it. So you plug in x equals 2, you get 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So the vertex is at 2, negative 1. And we should see that on our graph. In fact, I'll go ahead and put this negative 1 here. And we know 0, 3 is on the graph. I'll put that there. And then whether the graph opens up or down, the number in front of x squared is positive, so I know it's going to open up. So we can actually answer all of this without doing filling out the table and graphing the equation. But let's go ahead and graph it now. If I plug in x equals 1, I get 1 minus 4 is negative 3, plus 3 is 0. Plug in 3, I get 9 minus 12 is negative 3, plus 3 is 0. And then I plug in 4, 16 minus 16 is 0, plus 3 is 3. So my highest y value that will show up is 3. My x values are going from 0 to 4. So I know my graph is going to be to the right mostly. So I need it up to positive 3 and down to negative 1. 0, 3 is here. 1, 0. 2, negative 1. 3, 0. 4, 3. So the graph looks something like this. We don't have to get a perfect graph. It should be smooth. It should be a nice smooth curve. And this point shouldn't be a sharp V. It should be rounded a little bit. But if yours looks a little sharp, that's okay. And if it, if it doesn't look like a perfect curve, that's okay. I just want to make sure that you know it's a parabola, that you can sketch it nicely and find these other quantities and tell me if it opens up or down.